Let me introduce you to my good friend, the crock pot. I use this a whole lot. They have been soaking overnight. Let the magic begin. Blessed be y'all, this is Jen Freemeyer. I'm doing a little bit of cooking today. Cooking with intention. I'm entitling this video The Magical Fruit. You know the song. But beans are something that the old folks used to always do in the pressure cooker. And I always had the assumption in my head, because of the way the old folks did it, that that's the only way that you could cook beans. And I never cooked beans. Till a friend of mine said, no, you just put them in a pot and boil them. Or put them in the crock pot, which is what we're going to do today. And so, that's one of those things that, you know, I didn't do it because of some stupid programming from when I was a child that kept me from doing something that I end up enjoying. So let's get started here. I've got like 4 different kinds of chilies. I got some of these from the Asian store, which are nice and hot. Some of these little fiery little things. I have got serranos from the Mexican store. We're going to use up the rest of this bag here. Bought some more yesterday at the other store, so I can use these up. That's the thing, I gotta keep chili in stock because I love chili. The last 2 jalapenos I have, I will have to buy more of those. And I bought a poblano too, so I'm going to put 4 different kinds of chili in this. You don't have to do this, but I like it this way. Got a yellow onion, got some garlic, and I'm going to throw some tomatoes in there. Those are getting a little bit old, so I think I'll throw those in there and cook them up. Let's start by chopping some of this stuff up. Gotta wash it first. Now, I often do this at night before I go to bed and then let it cook while I'm asleep, which is pretty cool most of the time. Sometimes the smell keeps me awake, though. That's kind of weird, but it does. And it's kind of annoying. Even though, you know, that the smell of cooking is a good smell, it's just that when you can't get away from it, sometimes it becomes overwhelming. And so don't know if I'm going to be able to concentrate and chop at the same time and talk to you all. Because I'm used to doing this, you know, without any audience, of course, but, you know, by myself and just concentrating on things so I don't cut myself or anything. But, I often try to put some intention into what I am just put the intention of good health into this, because to me, beans are something, I mean, it's something that has been the, kind of the staff of life for people for, I don't know, thousands of years. Ever since they've been cultivating beans and drying them and saving them. It's kind of like grain. They figure out how to preserve something by drying it and then cooking it later. So this is probably going to take me a bit here, so I think I might just let you, I'll do a little time lapse here. I got to put this together anyway, so I'll do a little time lapse here, and we'll be back after I've chopped all this stuff up. All right, there is our chilies. And as you can see, it's a pretty good mess of chilies down there. This will flavor things nicely. All right, I've done up the tomatoes, and I rinsed the beans. I drained the beans, and I rinsed them, which is important because that gets they have a protective coating on them that makes things less digestible, and if you don't get it off, you don't get the nutrition benefits. So I also have another pot of water coming to a boil here. I'm going to add that to the crock pot to get it to jump start it. Otherwise, it takes like an hour and a half before it gets up to temperature. So right now, I peeled some garlic here. I'm going to chop that up and add that. I've got one yellow onion here that I have peeled so far. And I like yellow onion in this because it brings out the sweetness in this bacon. Bacon I got is Applewood smoked. I get it over at Whole Foods, and I really like it. A lot of times too, you can get that, they will cube that. And you can just buy it cubed and throw it in here. I bought 1.5 pounds because I'm going to put 3/4 pound in here, which is what I have found is pretty optimal for this size crock pot, which I think is 3 quarts, I think. I don't know. But that seems to be pretty optimal for this. And I could have put this through the garlic press, but I think I'm just going to chop it up. I will often slice my stuff also because it's just easier. But once you got it sliced, then you can go through and chop it a little bit. Going to dice our onions. After I'm done with this, putting these things in, then I'm going to put the spices in, because I try to put the spices in so that they're not on the top. A lot of times I forget and they end up on the top, but I think it cooks better if I can remember to put the spices in, and then I put the meat on top of that, so the meat ends up being on top. Or if I had forgotten a vegetable, I put that on top. So. Well, actually, no, this is going to be the beans on top. Once I've got all this in here. This has probably taken me half an hour to do all this, but you end up with something. If it's just me and nobody else is here to eat it, I will take a portion of this and freeze it. And that way I don't get sick of it before I eat it all. Because a whole pot of this just by myself, I get kind of tired of it before I get to the bottom of it. I'm just going to cut this in half here. Yeah, I'm going to save the rest of that. I'm going to make bacon and eggs with that. I found a pound is a little bit too much, and half a pound is a little bit too little for this particular pot. You know, if you have a different size pot, that's going to vary. So. Like I said, this is applewood smoked, and it's pretty sweet. I don't know that it's got sugar curing in it, but maybe the applewood just has a natural sweet taste to the smoke. I don't know. I haven't smoked a lot of meat to find out. Actually, I'm going to wash my hand before I do that. Let's get this out of here so we don't get any soap on it. I always wash my hands after I handle raw stuff. Oh yeah, I was going to put the spices in. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to take a shortcut. I usually grind up some dried chilies, but I got this chipotle chili powder from Mountain Rose Herbs. So I'm going to put a nice portion of that in there. I probably got half a cup in there. No, maybe quarter cup. But you need quite a bit. And I'm doing Mexican spices, so it's going to be cumin and coriander and oregano and white pepper. Gotta get some more cumin. I'm just about out. Cumin and coriander are easy to find at the Mexican store, and it's pretty inexpensive, and it tastes good. I found this ground oregano there too, which I really like. And all of these are like $1 for, a few ounces. Instead of the, the other stores are up to like $4 or something for one little bottle, sometimes more than that. Well, let's get it simmering. Got some tarragon here, which is my go-to herb. I really like tarragon. I put it in pretty much everything, whether it's Mexican or Italian or American, whatever. A little bit of rosemary and thyme. I pretty much put those in everything too. And last but not least, this is the Vietnamese chili pepper. Alright, that's boiling. Shut that off. Hope this is good. I had to buy the cheaper one because I couldn't find this brand. This is a really good brand. Best Taste brand with the horse on it. Their stuff's usually good. They make a wide variety of stuff. But you get that at the Vietnamese store. Alright. Put the meat in. Now this is the test. Will it fit? There's always more veg than you expect. Oh, perfect. That is perfect. Yes. Actually, put this in here. If you notice too, I did not salt these. And I was told by the old folks you don't salt it until you're done with it because it makes them tough. And people have said how tender my beans are. And I think it's because I don't salt it. And now I'm going to turn this on high and fill her up. Do it just about a 1/4 inch below where the lid sits. Now I didn't use all that water, but I'm going to save that because I might add some more later. This way I can put the lid. Let me show you how I did that. Now you notice that I put the lid a little bit ajar. That's because if you put this particular one all the way down, it's going to boil over on you. So that's a good tip if you have this style of crock pot. Okay, that's just about it for the moment. We'll be back in probably about 8 hours to see how this was. Yeah, this is about 30 minutes worth of work. But, you know, I get at least 6 meals out of this, if not 8. And so, you know, it's worth it. Well, it's worth it because it tastes good, too. And it's good for you. So, I'm going to clean up here, and we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, here we are. It has been about 5 hours. Take the lid off of this. You can see what we got here. So, that didn't take too much time. It works much better if you heat the water before you put it in. It takes much less time. I will often let this go overnight, but usually when I do it overnight too, I put cold water in, which lets things cook a bit. But anyway, that's how you do some beans, and these are for my health. I encourage you to cook up something that's for your health. Blessed be y'all. This is Jen Fremont.